Hello folks, welcome to my YouTube channel again. Today I just want to introduce you about the support resistance, how to identify that, and also the trend line, how you draw the trend line properly. I'm going to pick up one of the ticker symbols as SPY, and right now I'm on the monthly chart. So you can see right here is on the chart without any indicator on. I only put the volume right here. I normally don't really rely on any indicator because most likely indicator is very lagging, and price action is the most important thing that we all pay attention to, and then how to trade it properly. Yes, if you know how to trade price action properly, you don't need any indicator. Yeah. So this is a monthly chart, and you can see right here the price totally really uptrend. If you draw the trend line from here to here, so it's most likely it's above the trend line. You have one broke right here, but it overall trend is up. So when you see the on a monthly chart, it's uptrend, right? And then we can go back a little bit lower to the weekly chart, because monthly chart, which mean that one candle represent 1 month. And then we can go to the weekly chart, which means one candle represent weekly. I'm gonna, because this is just a drawings to see how the overall trend is up, I'm gonna delete that actually. So I'm drawing the trend line in the proper way right now. So in order for you to draw the trend line in proper way, you have to connect from the lowest pivot point to the second and third of the low pivots. So in this case, I gonna draw right here and then touch right here, because it's one of the touch pivot I have right here. Right. Yeah. So I have touched the lower pivots and the highest pivot right here, the high of the low pivot right here, and then the low, and another pivot low right there too. And then you can see right here the price action on the weekly chart broke this trend line to go down. So which means that when it broke the trend line, so you can see that the trend has been changed that direction to go lower. But when it's go lower on a bigger time frame like this, it's more like pullback to the to the to the strong support in order for the price to go back up, right? So why it says strong support? So when it's what is support and resistance? Support and resistance is, support is like the most low that price attractive, and resistance is the most high that price attractive, which means that the price touch so many times at the resistance, and also the price touch so many times in support. It's the same thing as the floor and the ceiling, right? So um, when we bounce the ball to the support, to the floor, so the ball's gonna bounce to the ceiling, and then the ceiling is more like resistance, and support is like the floor. So it's bounce back and forth between the support and resistance. So the price action do exactly the same thing in that concept. In this case, I can identify the support somewhere around this area, because if you can see the price action really tied to this area so many times, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 right here, but the price has not been broke this high yet. So this is the resistance, but has not been touched yet. So the next one that price gonna go, either it drop to this support again, or and then bounce back to the resistance. So the resistance and support can have a different level, like for example right here. So this is another support and resistance. Why I say support and resistance? Because this is resistance and it broke this low, so become resistance, because the price has not made any high, but it broke that high to go lower, and price touched that resistance and drop. It's called pullback. And then price broke that resistance and pulled back again, broke that resistance again, pull back again. So this resistance become a support. We call flip zone. So when the price drops to this zone, to this area, and then right now because of it touches so many times, so a price really attract to this area a lot, and then it moving higher high right here, and price never been pulled back to that support and resistance again. So price make a go to the higher high right here, and then at this level price make a low to touch this support, the newer support, that price attracted to, and then make a high high. So in this case, if you can see that price broke the trend line and price head to support and price make another higher high right here. So you can trade based on this price action thing. For example, right here, this is a really nice pattern thing. If you can see right here, it broke the trend line. So if I draw the trend line right here, so it broke the trend right here, price make the high highs right there. It broke, one candle broke the trend lines. It touched 1 2 3 and 4. The fourth touches, it broke the trend lines, and the next candle open above the trend line. So if you really want to get a good entry, you wait for the candle to break the trend lines right there, and then the next entry is gonna be, the next open is gonna be your entry, and then it's getting from there. So this case you have one entry right here, and you probably just want to exit right there. So here's a, we can pay attention to in this case. So this is two entry we can make. When price broke this low, this is one low that has not been closed. So the next open is gonna be your entries, go down, and then price touch to the strong support and bounce back, and then drop to support again and bounce back. So in this case, if you pay attention to the trend line, you can, when it touch the third trend lines, it's getting lower. Yeah, you gotta get another entry from there, and then it broke the trend lines, which means that it's a time to go long, not a short. When it's go long, your entry is right here. So it's easy for the trend line, which means that if the price break above trend line, you go long. If price break below trend line, you go short. It's so easy if you can identify the support resistance, and then along with the trend lines, you can make your trade in your favor, very high probability. So in this case, you can see that how powerful our trend line work, right? Along with support resistance. To me, it's very powerful strategy that I use it all the times, and it's really work in my favors. And I would recommend for all the traders you should use it, because it's really powerful. It's really powerful. If you can use for all time frame, and then the most important thing is for all time frame. It doesn't have to be on a weekly chart, daily chart, monthly, uh, 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 240, 1 hour chart, or 5 minute, or so on and so forth, right? So those things, it, and it make the chart very clean and neat. You don't have a lot of indicator on, anything like that. Just purely trade based on the price action, uh, and and you can see visually clearly and precisely where your entry is if you know your your risk management properly. If you can trade based on the weekly chart, because weekly chart is too big, so you can trade with a smaller time frame, and then you can narrow down the risk to get it even smaller. For example, right here, the trend is broke this high, it broke this low, and then another new candle form right here. So your entry is right here, and your stops should be below this low, right? So in this case, your entry is right here, stop below this low. But this is a weekly chart. You can go to like 1 hour chart or 2 hour charts in order for you to minimize your risk right here. So remember, always put the stop below the pivot low of the trend line break. Yeah, normally a lot of trader using trend line breaks as the entry point. um, and some people use a third touch as an entry point too. So it totally up to you. It whatever that work for you the best. So in this case, when I say third touch, which means when the trend initial of the trend established right here. So one trend established right here, and a second and third right here. You can see that okay, that's your entry. When it touch the third time, you should go to. However, you should really uh, make the stop below this low. For example, it touch it normally it pull back before it continue rally. But if you can see the touch right here and you make the stop below this trend line right here in a certain amount right there, and then you and then the price go to your favor, you can move your stop to a little bit higher and higher, and then eventually will stop you out so when the price make another kind of pullback. In this case, the same thing. So when price touch 1 2 3, so touch right there, so it's price drop right here, price drop to touch the significant of the support, and price kind of bounce back and broke this trend line. In this case, if you really got a short right here, so you're gonna hold this profit into your favor until you it hit to the strong support right there, and then you gotta make another entry when it break the trend line to go to make a high right here, you know. So that's all for the trend line and support resistance. So it's so easy to identify, and don't make trading as so uh, complexity. Make it simple as possible, and then you can trade it, enjoy the tradings along the way. So trading is very long way, and it's a good journey. So just enjoy it and don't make trading as complicated thing. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and you all have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.